Okay, let's get started. Right, thanks everyone for joining us. Today we're diving into one of the most quietly complex aspects of global expansion, which is tax compliance, and how Avalara's AI-powered capabilities are changing the game. The session will take about 40 minutes plus questions, so you can ask your questions in the comment box and we'll get to those later. And keep an eye out for polls during the webinar. We'd love to hear your feedback throughout the session. So onto the agenda. Following introductions, we'll start with a quick overview of the global trends and challenges in tax compliance and automation. Then we'll introduce Avalara to run a demo of the AVATax product. Finally, we'll open the floor to answer any of your questions. So pop those questions in the comments and we'll answer those shortly. So I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Ellen. I'm a delivery lead at Annexa, and I focus primarily on business optimization reviews. And one of the most common pain points we draw out in our reviews is the subject of tax. We've been working closely with Avalara to help solve these often complex tax issues for several years now. Aishwarya, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yep, thanks, Ellen. Hi, everyone. This is Aishwarya Jagtap. I am the Solutions Consultant here at Avalara. So my technical role is to provide, solution demonstrations to our customers, understand their pain points, and see where Avalara solutions can help out. So happy to be here.
Thanks, Aisha. Okay, so most of our customers here today look like they're already Annexa customers, but if you're new to Annexa, we're business systems, NetSuite ERP partners and integration specialists. We have local teams in Australia and New Zealand with deep understanding of these local markets. And we've completed about 200 plus implementations and counting now, I think. So we've been around for a while. And Avalara have been on our radar for many years, as many of our retail and digital customers are using the platform to assist in their overseas expansions and compliance with different regions. It makes sense that we formalised our partnership to ensure we could assist customers earlier in the partner planning and planning their journeys when it came to global expansions. As you can see, we've got quite a few of our customers already utilising the Avalara suite. So I'm going to hand it over to Aishwarya to share more about Avalara. Over to you, Aishwarya.
Thanks, Ellen. All right, so let's start off with who Avalara is, right? And what do we do? To give you a quick overview, Avalara has been helping businesses with their tax compliance need for over 20 years now. And we have offices in multiple regions so that we can help our customers, not just with their US tax compliance needs, but also their international tax compliance needs as well. We have customers who are based outside of the US, which also means that we have presence outside of the US, and we actually have a local team in Australia to help customers there as well. Let's understand some of the challenges or reasons why, compliance could be difficult for businesses. The very first one being, e-commerce growth. More and more businesses have started buying and selling online. Especially for businesses looking to expand in the US market, staying compliant can be challenging with the ever-changing tax rules, regulations, and the cross-border trade. Not just that, governments are reacting more with aggressive policies, and everyone wants to be digitized, right? So e-invoicing is a very hot topic right now. More countries are pivoting from post-audit to mandatory digital reporting. Australia has mandated e-invoicing for federal government agencies, and New Zealand requires central government agencies to be able to receive e-invoices. Both countries are encouraging wider adoption through the PEPL network. So, you need to have a partner that is able to provide you and sort of these issues that more and more come up with tax compliance needs. And lastly, as the business grows, more customers are moving from direct to customers to business model. And, selling both B2C and B2B can be challenging. This expansion can open your business to tax difficulties, especially in the US, in terms of managing tax and exemptions if you don't have a system in place. So how can Avalara help with all of these different needs, right? This one here particular highlights all of the different solutions and services that we have to offer. So the very first line in orange that you see is our core products. This is where we help out with our customers in their tax exemption certificates in the United States. We do tax calculations. We have an engine that does tax calculations in over 192 countries. And we also help out with reporting and filing in various countries. And lastly, e-invoicing and live reporting. That's one of the solutions available with us today. The second one is supporting products. So we do have, licensing and registration services that we offer to our customers who want to get registered for maybe sales tax in the US or VAT registrations in Europe, etc. We also have a very popular tax research tool that businesses can use to research when they are stepping into a new business and don't understand the territory so much. And then from a cross-border perspective, we can help out with item classification, duty calculation, and then we have 1099, W9, and property tax as well. The third one is integrations and APIs. This is where we highlight some of the accounting platforms and different e-commerce platforms that we integrate with, right? NetSuite is very popular with a lot of our customers. We integrate with NetSuite. We have a connector. We also, have connectors with e-commerce platforms like Shopify or BigCommerce. Another point to note is if you are using systems that are outside of, what we currently have a pre-built integration for, we do have APIs, so we can support you either way in your compliance needs. And lastly, what are the services that we offer? So we could do sales tax risk assessment. We could provide implementation services to you, and then right till the end, after the implementation services are in place, we also provide ongoing support if any issues come up. So these are some of the areas that we currently help and support our customers in. So why even use, AI and automation in tax management? First is accuracy. You need to make sure you are calculating your taxes accurately and, not overcharging or undercharging your customers, because you are essentially the agent of the state. So you're collecting taxes on behalf of that state or behalf of that jurisdiction. Efficiency. It reduces costs and time spent managing tax compliance, because if you get things wrong since the beginning, it's just going to add up to the whole journey of making things right starting from scratch. Customer satisfaction. When your customers are buying from you, it's best to show them how much they're going to pay in taxes and fees while they are purchasing the product, so there are no surprises when the product actually lands at their doorstep. Risk management, like I said, once you get the first step right of calculating everything accurately, you reduce yourself from the exposure to audits and overall just reduce the risk in tax compliance. And then once all of these resources that you have available with you, if you don't have to look after the tax compliance part, you can utilize those people in growing your business more in the different areas. So that's the reason why AI and automation in tax is really important. AI driven enablement. So Avalara pioneers AI first compliance through virtual Avalarians. So basically, these are intelligent agents embedded across the customer life cycle. These AI capabilities reduce friction and accelerate value by guiding self service onboarding and go live with Gen AI powered assistants. Our systems or engines also analyze historical transaction data to optimize tax configuration and connector settings, automating product classifications used in compliance with unmatched precision. This intelligent automation speeds up processes and transforms them, redefining how compliance work is performed and scaled. Um, Avalara's cross-border solutions is a great example of how AI and machine learning are at the center of innovation. This particular slide here is part of our cross-border product suite offering. And as you can see, we have two sort of segments here. One is Essentials, one is Pro. Basically, Avalara instantly assigns HS codes to your goods for each country you ship to. This is an important part when your goods are going to cross borders, because duty calculation is done based on your HS codes classification. So this automated system reduces the time usually required to manually assign these HS codes. Our cross-border capabilities extend into the shopping cart experience, calculating duties, tariffs, and taxes in real time, so buyers see full landed costs before they click buy. This is just one example of how we use AI, but we'll share more as we get into the demo.
Thanks, Aishwarya. So we'll now get into the demo while Aishwarya is logging in. I'll just tell you a little bit about the AvaTax product. It's a global tax for global tax and duties. Avalara AvaTax is a cloud-based solution for calculating sales tax, seller use tax, and VAT, GST in real time. It uses current rates and rules based on geolocation, item taxability, tax holidays, product exemptions, and jurisdiction-specific laws. So let us know, Aishwarya, when you're ready to go.
So we're going to go through AvaTax to understand how Avalara's tax engine does the tax calculations, whether it's local tax calculation within a country or whether it's, calculating your customs and duties as well. So right now you can see on your screen AvaTax, which is Avalara's flagship solution. This is our global tax engine that does tax calculation in over 192 countries. Right now we are at the home screen, but you can see there are multiple options, menu options on the left-hand side, right? So we have the transactions module, which essentially is about, tax calculation. We have exemptions, which talks about managing your exemption certificates from your customers in the United States and Canada. And then we also have the returns module here, where we file and, we prepare, file, and remit taxes in the United States. So that's our returns module. We also have payables, which is us doing your accounts payable, use tax calculation, etc. On the home screen right now, you can see a little US map. This is actually also our economic threshold tracker. So it helps you understand where is it that you're going to breach economic threshold in a particular state, which will, start help you in getting registered in those particular states as well. So it comes in handy. You don't have to run your own analysis or rely on third party to tell you whether you have breached Nexus in a particular state or not. We provide all the details state-wise, whether it's sales volume or the number of transactions, you will get all the details here. And it sort of lights up with, different colors to give you different sort of indications. What I'm about to show you right now is a tax calculator, which will show where we'll see an example of a US calculation and see how the engine does, different calculations for that particular transaction. The goal is to connect your source systems to AvaTax, so that then we see your transaction parameters, like what product is being sold, where is it being shipped to, and depending on that, the engine does the sales tax calculation. All of this is done in the background. We do utilize artificial intelligence and machine learning in a lot of our solutions in here. So for example, within the exemptions module here, right? When your customers upload exemption certificates, we use machine learning and AI to read through the certificate and make sure things are, accurate on that, so that we can mark it as valid. Apart from that, we also have Avi, which is our, chatbot that helps you answer any questions you might have. So we also use internally, AI and machine learning for our day-to-day tasks as well. So we are AI first company, so we have incorporated that within our solutions too. So without taking much time, let's quickly see a US sales tax transaction. All right, so in here, the product is being shipped from Seattle to an address in California. So I'm entering that address here. So when I click validate address, our system is going to cross-check this with the United States Postal Service database. We do this conversion and get an accurate address to then get a latitude and longitude. We do this conversion in the United States and Canada because taxation is complex in US, right? It's based at the jurisdiction level, and there are so many jurisdictions. How do you make sure that you are applying the correct tax rate for that jurisdiction? It's by doing this latitude and longitude conversion to get rooftop level accuracy. And then item code is just internal to customers. I'm just going to put one as a quantity, and let's just put $400. We'll use clothing as an example. So here I am using this particular tax code, which will help us determine product taxability in this particular region. So when I hit calculate, the engine is telling me that there are 4 taxes applicable in this scenario. There is a California state tax, Santa Clara County tax, and 2 special taxes. That's the individual breakdown, percentage wise, that's the total. And then this is what the customer is going to pay in taxes in total on this particular transaction. So imagine how complex this could be. If you decide to change this address here, the calculation would be completely different. Again, today maybe California and the county and the special jurisdictions are applying this rate. Tomorrow this rate might change. So our engine keeps up to date with all of these changes that happen in the background, with the rate change, rule change, product taxability changes. So you don't have to worry about whether you're applying the right tax to, or charging right tax to your customers or not. Our engine will take care of that. So it reduces um, manual efforts later on, and you're not overcharging or undercharging your customers and then not filing accurately, right? So the first step is calculating tax accurately, so that the following steps after that are taken care of automatically. So that's how the engine does tax calculation. This one was an example of local sales tax calculation. I'll quickly show you another example where we do cross border and duty calculations, and also calculations in other countries, like for example in Australia we can do GST calculation, etc. So I'm going to switch my companies here. Again, when we are talking about cross border and duty calculation, HS code classification is an important part. So I'm going to click on transactions here. Avalara does help out with HS code classification, and we use artificial intelligence there as well. So in here, I'm going to open up a few transactions. So as you can see in this particular transaction, the product being shipped is the kids romper, and it's being shipped from Australia to an address in the United States, which is Texas, right? Um, If I go back here and if I click on the details here, you can see the tax code, which helps us determine the local taxability within that local jurisdiction. And then we have the harmonized tariff code, which is the HS code that I just spoke about, right? So we help out with classification, and our internal systems use machine learning and AI for this purpose. And then down below, you can see we have calculated the local tax within Texas, and then also the import duty for this particular transaction, which is a 4.8%. So our engine does look at all of these different parameters. We also check the de minimis thresholds when we do duty calculation, because that is an important factor. If your total invoice is below the de minimis threshold, the engine won't do any duty calculation. But if it's above that de minimis threshold, then there will be a duty applicable. So we look at all of these different parameters too. So that's one example from product being shipped from Australia to the US. Let's look at another one where it's being shipped from India to Australia, right? Again, you will see the same sort of setup. We have the tax code, we have the harmonized tariff code, and then down below you can see the different taxes, right? The local tax, which is the Australia GST, which is 10%, and then the import duty as well, which is 5%. So these are two examples that show you that our engine not just operates in the United States, but it also does tax calculation and duty calculation all around the world. Apart from that, let me quickly show you our exemptions module here that will help customers manage their clients' exemption certificates. So like I said, we provide an option for your customers to upload the exemption certificates. And once they upload it, it then comes under incoming certificates to review. And once it's in the system, you or our team can help you out in making sure the details are accurate. Again, just to reiterate, we integrate with a lot of different ERP platforms like NetSuite and e-commerce platforms as well. So some of these functionalities, you can view it within your ERP platform, depending on what platform it is, so that you don't have to leave that platform and come to Avatax. But just to give you an idea, if I'm going to review this particular certificate here, we use optical character recognition and machine learning to read through most of the certificate details and pre-populate these fields here so that you don't have to manually type it out, right? And then if everything looks accurate, you can save it as valid. So this is another module that we help out our customers with. That's pretty much it from a demonstration perspective. Hope this was helpful. Yeah, and we are here to help out. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Aishwarya. I'm going to just check now here. We've got some questions. Okay, so you mentioned India, Australia, but can Avalara help me calculate tariffs and custom duties in other regions such as the EU?
Yes, we are a global company. We can help you calculate customs duties, local VAT rates in the EU. We can help you in the United Kingdom. And not just that, we also do tax calculation in APAC countries such as Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand. So, yes, we can support you in a lot of countries.
Fantastic. Will Avalara help customers with historical liabilities?
Yes. So we evaluate what your historical liabilities are in that particular region. And, we will provide you with the appropriate next steps as to whether you need to do a disclosure agreement or, what is it required in terms of filing back taxes. So yes, we do support with this historical liabilities too.
Excellent. There's one here. Do you recommend AvaTax for people who are just trading in Australia and New Zealand?
Yes, calculating taxes accurately goes, no matter what region you are in. So, like I showed in this example, we can do GST tax calculation in Australia and in New Zealand. So, yes, I would definitely recommend AvaTax as a platform for people trading in just Australia and New Zealand as well.
So that concludes everything that we wanted to cover. If you want to know more, our existing Annexa customers can reach out to their customer success manager. And if you're new to Annexa, you can reach out to our sales team for more information.